Hi everybody, I'm Kit and
Theo.
And we're going to have a look at some really lovely children's book that you can use to teach young children a bit of geography. So we're going to start with this one. This one is called
Me.
And what's this one all about?
It's about a little penguin saying the stuff is deep and steep and tall and I am small. That's what he says.
Yeah, and this is a really good book to teach about Antarctica and extreme environments by the view of a little tiny penguin. So for example, he gets buffeted by the strong winds there, and it's kind of nice to learn a bit like the harsh environments of Antarctica there. Okay, let's go for, how about this one? Let's stay in Antarctica. What's this one called?
It's called Blown Away, and Antarctica is also an continent.
Yeah, and you know what I really love about this one? So there's actually one thing that made me really kind of, they meet a polar bear, and why does Daddy not like books with polar bears and penguins in them, Theo?
Because polar bears live in the North Pole, not the South Pole, and penguins live in the South Pole.
But the good thing about this book, do you remember what's in that book that makes it okay? Do you remember what that bit was? So if I show it to the screen, but we notice this, which shows a map, shows that Clive the bear
had come from the North Pole to the South Pole.
That's right.
He came to because that the little penguin who got the kite was Clive's friend.
So, and they go to a tropical island, and they didn't like it there because it was too what?
Hot.
It was too hot for them.
But there was ice cream.
That's good. So that's a really lovely one, and it redeemed. Well, I think that was deliberate to kind of have a bit of a poke of people who mix their polar bears and their penguins there. Now, this is a really good one, isn't it, Theo? So this is a very famous one. Now, a lot of people might know this one. So what's this one called?
It's called Stickman, and
Yep.
It's about a stick with a stick family, and the stick man goes on an adventure, and he accidentally gets captured by a dog, and then a girl, and then he gets thrown into the river, and then he gets washed to sea.
You see, now that's the bit of geography that I think is great because it shows you different landscapes and you can explore different landscapes.
And then she's used for a flag.
Yeah, on the seaside. And it goes through different seasons as well, so you can explore the different seasons and different landscapes about Stickman's journey of getting lost. Right, here's a good one, Owl at Home. Now, this is one that is an American author called Arnold LaBelle, who wrote the Frog and Toad series, but there's a particular story of Owl at Home I like, and Theo's going to read this one page for you. So he's at home, he's snuggling at home with some hot soup, and it's winter time outside, and then he hears a knocking on the door, and Theo's going to read this here. Go on from there, Theo.
No one was there, only the snow and the cold. Poor old winter is knocking at my door, said Owl. Perhaps it wants to sit by the fire. Well, I will be kind and let the winter come in. Owl opened the door very wide. Come in, winter, said Owl. Come in and warm yourself for a while.
Right, so there he is letting winter... But the trouble is that when he opens the door, what happens?
It makes a blizzard, and then his pea soup turns into ice, and the fire goes out.
And actually, this is a really good way of teaching the different kind of air masses and air types. So, for example, when you've got very cold air and it's very dense, and then you open the door, and then it rushes into that area of warm air and less dense air, and that pressure gradient is dragging it. So it's not really winter knocking on the door, it's just the differences in air pressure and density. You can, of course, teach that concept very clearly using that nice little story, which is wonderful, like the physics behind why Owl let winter in and it went whooshing around his house. But he had to shut, when he shut the door, it went away, didn't it? So Okay, and Theo is, so this one's for a little bit of the older ones now. This is an old book, you can get it, I'll put, let's see, this is Ingrid Schellberg, Our Changing World, and you love this one, Theo, so tell us a little bit about this one then. So if I hold it like that.
It's about seasons and it's about changing, and you can you can see that you can do this with them, and it's about summertime and winter time and it's also about
That's the last page.
It's also about the sea and when the tide goes in and the tide goes out.
Yep, so that one's called Our Changing World by Ingrid Schellberg. So that's one of your favourite ones, isn't it? Because you're learning about the way that the world changes through different seasons in different parts. Okay, so that's just 5 of our favourite stories, just general stories that you could use to teach some geography to young children. So thank you very much for your help, Theo. That was very nice for your insight, your expert insight, geographer's son, eh? But like all children, yeah, okay. So have fun with the rest of the Teachmeet, everybody. Bye!